And good Friday evening, everyone. It is Friday, December the 19th. Man, what a wild and fast month it has been. Christmas is just around the corner, and by golly, so is Election Day, believe it or not. The March primary is coming up faster than you know it, and I am more than glad to do my part to get you to be aware of that, right? So anyway, for folks who are new around these parts and may not know who I am outside of the Harrison or Boone County area, I'm Jim Bumgardner. I am the chief cook and bottle washer around AMP Multimedia LLC. And what we are doing, I'm just making a quick little change here. There we go. This particular live stream tonight is to introduce you to the virtual stump, AMP Multimedia's virtual stump. It's something that I've been doing for, well, 15 years now. 16 years, something like that. As far as local election coverage, it means a lot to me no matter where I've been or where I've gone. And as such, it's something that I truly want to see continue as far as civic duty and getting you excited about elections. That's so, because politics. Everybody's sick of politics. Well, here's the thing. The elected offices that we are filling with people who are willing to get out there in front of the public, guess what? They're ours to control. They truly are. These people go to work for us, and as such, it's our job to know who they are. And so if you are above the age of 18 in the United States of America, you can vote. And we're going to work on encouraging you to do that. This platform, I do want to say straight out, is completely non-biased, non-partisan. Now, at the moment, when you look at the virtual stump page or the website or the 2026 virtual stump, you're going to see a lot of Republicans because the big focus here where I am is the Boone County Republican. It's just Republican heavy for the primary. So, but again, we're going to be reaching out to all parties, and be it the Republicans, the Democrats, the Independents, the miscellaneouses that come along, long as they're playing by the rules legally and lawfully, we will be doing everything we can to share those candidates with you by way of the Arkansas Stump or the ArkansasVirtualStump.com. Pardon me there. But again, this is just kind of a Friday night thing. I know everyone is most likely still running the streets doing Christmas shopping, but it was a good time to make something here and doing it in the prime time slot of Facebook land. And again, just to introduce you to what everything is, who I am, and why you should even remotely care. First thing I want to say about the virtual stump is initially found at 72601life.com/virtual stump, or you'll see the logo there on the front page and you can click it. And again, this is a community project brought to you by me and AMP Multimedia, because the need for civic engagement has never been stronger. It's always been there, but people, especially now that we're going into the midterms, turnout is always low because it's not the big election, the big presidential election, so people tend to stay home. Well, the problem with that, though, is every election is important. Every vote matters. And as such, I want to do my part and to stress that with you, because I know with the younger folks out there who could be the very first time they ever get to vote, I know Gen Z, I think, is where we're falling into that category. They are hungry for information. And if we're not here to show them, well, where are they going to go? So that's the best I can offer you there. Now, tonight, what we're going to do, and I'm going to move as fast as I can here, is I want to walk through, again, what the stump itself is, where you can find it, what you'll find when you get there, and why I truly hope you'll help me in spreading what is truly a grassroots movement. So with that said, let's kick this show off by way of, we'll come over to the stump page, which is the one thing that I didn't have opened up. Isn't that ironic? I've got a lot of things I want to share with you tonight. So let's go. Well, we'll start right over here. Now, what you see here, this is 72601life.com. This platform I built out to promote businesses in the city of Harrison, and it's been fun. It truly has. And so again, it's like when people come to town, they're looking for somewhere to go or a place to be. They're like, hey, where do I go get? Well, here you go. It's a handy reference, getting close to a 2026 update. And the folks that you see here on this part of the screen are some really great businesses I've had the opportunity to work with over the years, and I consider most of them to be friends. So that's what it's about. It's just that simple. Also note over here, all of the things that you see by way of AMP Multimedia these days are not backed by advertisers and sponsors. So yeah, these guys kicked off in the beginning, but now they're just my legacy friends. But over here though, my book, Toys or Totems. It's a wonderful little deep dive into why we do the things we do when it comes to collecting and our art and things like that. But so if you want to support any of the broadcasts, you can do that by way of picking up a copy of the book. Or here's my Christmas treat to all of you. Starting on Sunday, December the 21st, all the way through Christmas Day, I'm offering the ebook by way of the Amazon Kindle totally for free. And we'll share links on that at some point. But the main thing is, I wrote a book to be read. And so I hope you will, and be kind enough to leave a review once you do. Now let's come over here to the virtual Stump page as it is right now. Now, with what you see here, with the virtual Stump, again, our focus is Boone County, Arkansas, and for the March primaries, everything is pretty much the county races. Municipal comes later in the year. But as you're looking at the site and you see that clever, smart logo there, I've got it broken down to everyone who is on the Boone County ballot at this point. We're done. So, the ballot is locked. So, starting with State Representative District 5, you've got a big race, 5 people up there: Truman Copeland, Kyle Evett, Jeff Pratt, Mike Bishop, and John Birdside. At the back end of the broadcast, what we are going to do is I want to introduce you to everyone who's taken the time to introduce them to me and me to get them to you, right? It'll be fun, I promise. So that said, and then of course the Boone County Sheriff's race, we've got 2 fresh faces in there with Tim Robertson and Mark Forsey. The Boone County Judges race is another big one with 5 folks stepping up to the plate to take over the helm after Robert Hathaway. Great guy. Tyler Gentry, James Still, Bobby Woods, Christopher Davis, and Danny Hall. In the coroner's race, did you know that that is actually an elected office? Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. But again, it is. And so it's another one of those things where your vote truly matters. So getting back to it though, with the coroner's race, and then all of the justice of the peace races that are up. Now we start with I say contentious, but the race where there are contenders. And you've got District 5, District 9, District 10, and then we're going into the unopposed candidates, because I want to make sure that every single name on the ballot, you'll know who their faces are and why, that even though it's unopposed, they still, they still, you still deserve for them to say why they should serve in that position. So you also get to know them. Now I need to pull this down right here. I see we've got something there. Let me double check this message just to make sure everything is all good in the hood there. Okay, everything is good. So eyes and ears are everywhere to help out in this whole project. But again, these unopposed candidates, I'm going to be doing my best to get to all of them so you can meet them, get to know them, and they're not just a name on a ballot. So with that said, as time goes on, we'll be adding those actually very soon, because we want to get everything wrapped before the end of the year. Now, here we go back into another race that's pretty big, actually. The United States Senate. Now, currently, for the state of Arkansas, Tom Cotton is the one up for re-election this year, and he does have opposition. Okay, this is not a biased swing at all. It's just truth as I see it, that a lot of the folks who are running for Senate this year, they frankly do not have the resources that an incumbent would have. And so with that said, I'm hoping to do the best I can to help get you introduced to them, if you even knew that they were there. Now, the United States Senate races, as of here we are, is 3 persons on the Republican ticket, with being Jeb Little, Micah Ashby, and Tom Cotton, the incumbent. Now, here are the Democrats who are also face off against the winner of the primary in March, and that would be Ethan Dunbar, Haley Schaffner, and Dan Whitfield. Now, again, in all fairness, I am not very familiar with those candidates. I have not had the opportunity to meet them, greet them, or talk to them yet. However, I will be, because I want everything. I'm not worried about partisan politics. I'm concerned myself with the people who are going to represent us. And I think it's important that we know who they are. So with that said, that's kind of the basic rundown with what the virtual stump is. And again, it roots back to 72601life.com/virtual-stump, but I've also got it redirected by way of ArkansasVirtualStump.com and TheVirtualStump.com. Trying to cover all my bases to make it as easy as possible for you to be able to get there and to share the links and do all the fun stuff that we do inside of the virtual world that is social media. And there's also the YouTube channel, which we're going to visit here in just a few, where there's a playlist that is being populated day after day with all of these candidates that you can find there on the website. Again, this is a grassroots movement to get the people informed, and that's a very important thing. Another thing that you're going to be seeing on the Virtual Stump site will be the resources that are going to, well, quite frankly, make you feel better to know that we have I know in Boone County, Arkansas, and I have been singing their praises for so very long, the Boone County Clerk's office for the elections and how everything runs with Crystal Grady at the helm has been a pleasure all these years in covering the elections there. Because if you've ever been to other places in other counties, and it can get chaotic, it can get messy, results may not come in for days on end, let alone if you're there all night long on election night. And I've got some scars to show all that. However, once I got to Boone County, Arkansas, what in the... Well, that's very interesting. That wasn't supposed to happen. That got kind of spooky. But anyway, Boone County's clerk's office with Crystal Grady at the helm has been a true pleasure to work with over the years because they're efficient, they're kind and knowledgeable, and we are in Boone County. I will easily say that we are a shining North Star for folks to look at and how to run an election, because they truly have done a fantastic job. So again, all of these resources that I'm pointing out to you will be linked out from the Virtual Stump page. Again, I want to bottle it up, not to take away from them. I want to get you to them so you can learn and see more. You can learn more about, and again, if you go to BooneCountyAR.com, and you can get there yourself. But again, I want to make it as easy as possible for people to get to know and in the know of what's happening with your election process. And actually today, Alicia and I, we had the opportunity to finally get by the election center and go say hi again. And from there, we've got a nice bunch of updates and what all is going on from Penny and Faith over there, as they it's so funny because I myself was a little silly in my misgivings of saying, well, what else do you guys do before the election? Yeah. Well, you know what? They're working constantly to make sure everything runs as smooth as I just said it does. It is a full-time job, day in and truly day out. And they do a great job. And for example, I don't think Penny will mind that she was actually, once again, verifying all the polling locations in Boone County to make sure everything is good to go and be as smooth as possible for all of you, my dear friends and fellow voters. So again, all of these links will be built out through the site. The Arkansas Secretary of State's office with Arkansas Secretary of State Cole Chester. I have not had the opportunity to chat with Cole yet, but do believe I'll be reaching out to him for some of our educational series that we're going to put together to, again, I've pointed all these. The state and the county have some great resources available, but may not be as digestible as certain other things, such as explainer videos and other fun stuff. It's really fun for me. That's another reason why I want to do it. So, but we're going to have those type of links there. And again, it's all going to bring you right back to the Virtual Stump. And I truly, truly, truly hope that we can work together in accomplishing a goal of an informed citizenry. Because again, I know we've all been brought into the hype that comes from the national cycle over the past 10 years. It's been nuts. But listen, a civilized society, well, we don't do that. On your local level, wherever you are, and again, if you're with me here in Boone County, you know that's not, we don't have those problems. And I've said this early on when I first saw all the folks who were running for office here. We've got, I'll just say it like this, there's definitely no sliding to any female in the audience or on the ballot, but we have a gentleman's race scenario here. everyone who is on the ballot in Boone County, I can stand pretty firm in saying they're good people and they mean absolutely well in their intentions of wanting to run for public office and earn your vote. And I think any and all of the candidates could very well serve the community here well. But the best part is that in stepping up, as most have now, to be on the stump and put their faces and their names together so you can see who they are and why you should vote for them. And I'm probably looking at the wrong camera. I was. So anyway, here we go. The thing is, they, again, are very sincere, and you get to see them in town. You go see them at the Walmart or over at Harps or Hudson's or anywhere that's not a grocery store that's like escaping my mind right now. But the thing is these are the folks who live in our communities, who want to help the community through the system as it exists. And I'm going to do everything I can to support those efforts because it's very important. Now, we're going to do something a little different tonight because, again, I know this is like must-see TV on a Friday night before Christmas. Yeah. No, it's not. But again, for the replay later that I hope you are watching, I want to do something kind of weird and wacky. I want to actually go through all of the candidates who have made it to the virtual stump so far, and just give you this opportunity here. If you're kicking back, you're tired of everything else, and you want to get to know the people who are running for office in Boone County, guess what? Today is your lucky day. So what we're going to do, and also to show you where everything is, if you come over to YouTube and you look for AMP Multimedia, that be my channel, and you will be able to see everyone like Chris here. So now I'm going to do this. Now this is the first time that I went extensive on putting together a video broadcast with clips. So pardon me if there are hiccups, but I'm going to do my best not to have any. So with that said, I'm going to kick over here, and it's really in the only order that's happening is just in the order of the last to the first who participated, right? So with that said, other than that, and the races may be a little scattered, but I'll introduce them as we go, and let's just go ahead and go straight over to the big screen once we can find that handy dandy button. There it is. Good enough, right? Good enough. All right, ladies and gentlemen, first up that we'd like to introduce you to is Christopher Davis, who is running for Boone County Judge.
Hello everybody, I'm Christopher Davis. I'm running for Boone County Judge. The reason I'd like to be judge is I think I could bring a new perspective to the county seat, and I would appreciate your vote. Thanks, and God bless.
All right, so there's our first candidate there.
Hello everybody,
for some reason inside of the playlist there at the YouTube, they doubled down. So you can get twice as much. Now, this next race is going to feature a young lady that I just recently came to know was running for the United States Senate. Again, opposing Tom Cotton and Jeb Little. And again, it's one of those things. Another reason why the virtual stump exists. Because I'd never heard of her because exposure is what it is today. But thankfully, I had the opportunity to chat with her today, and I got to capture her 3 questions. And I introduce to you now.
My name is Micah Ashby. I'm running for the United States Senate, and I believe that you should vote for me because Arkansas needs representation. Arkansas needs someone in that Senate seat that represents we the people. I have heard all over from people in Arkansas that feel as if their politicians have lost touch with them, they're not listening to them, and they feel like they are left without representation. So I believe in the saying that how can you change what you do not understand? I am someone who has not been able to afford health care in the past, not been able to afford my medical bills, not been able to afford groceries or bills. So I have been in that same place that Arkansans are at today. And I understand what needs to be changed and what needs to be done to fix it because I have lived it. I've been in the medical system. I've been paralyzed from the waist down twice. So I know what it's like to be in the medical system and not be able to afford health care and all the things. I get it. So I believe that Arkansas should vote for me because I am for the people and I understand where they are at.
Again, that
My
is
name is
Micah
Micah.
Ashby, and it was a pleasure getting to chat with her today to capture This one, and again, I stress this so much that, again, this platform, the virtual stump, is 100% no charge for you, the viewer, or for the candidates. Okay, that's something I want to make very clear, because there are other platforms that are popping up everywhere. It's a little different. It's kind of a pay to play thing, but it doesn't tell you that. So when you have candidates who aren't present on those platforms, it's because they were kind of being shook down to pay to play. And if one does and the other doesn't, well, it looks a little shady. Like, why are they ducking? They're not. Double check. I mean, they might be. I don't know. Like, I know at this point with the virtual stump that we're doing, we just haven't gotten together. But there's been no one on the ballot in Boone County that has flat told me no. So, and if there is, you just won't ever see anything. But if there is some other extenuating circumstance, we'll see what we can do to work that out. But I don't know. I think it's one of those things that it's another voter awareness thing, because again, I didn't even think about those pay-to-play platforms, but I learned about them, and I'm like, okay, I need to tell people about this, because again, that makes for a lot of very unfair advantages, and quite frankly, I find it to be dirty capitalism, let alone dirty politics. So anyway, with that said, though, let's move on to our next candidate that we got to meet up with today for the first time, and that was Mr. James
My
Still.
name's James Still. I'm running for Boone County Judge. And the reason I feel that folks ought to vote is I've got the knowledge. I've had 22 years of experience. The last 10 of it, I have been in a supervisor position, going through budgets, helping bid on equipment, speccing equipment, and I like working for the people.
Again, that's James Still, who is running for Boone County Judge, our second candidate for said position of the evening. And then, again, this is a little clunkier than I would like as far as the broadcast, but we'll get there. Main thing is, remember, on YouTube, look for AMP Multimedia, 72601life.com, or you know what? Come to my own personal website at jimbumgardner.com. So now then, we've got another Boone County Judge candidate, and that would be Mr. Bobby Woods.
Hey everybody.
Wait.
I'm Bobby Woods, and I want to be your choice for Boone County Judge in the March 3rd primary election. I'm interested in seeing county government do the most it can and the best it can for its citizens. My experience includes serving 6 years as Boone County Justice of the Peace, which ended in December of 2022. This provided me an understanding of the county's business and how it operates. I've been self-employed in the real estate business for more than 45 years, which gave me more valuable experience in many types of business matters and allowed me to become familiar with all of Boone County and work with people from all over the county. I understand that county government is nonprofit. It must have enough revenue to cover expenses. The profits received are the goods and services that our citizens receive. I'm ready for a new challenge. I'd like to put my business experience and my people experience to work for you. I respectfully ask for you to vote Bobby Woods for Boone County Judge in the March 3rd primary election. We can work together to make Boone County better.
Thank you very much, Bobby. A little bit of a hiccup there in the operator, and it happens. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump over the state representative just so we can wrap up all of the county judge candidates that we have on the stump. There's only one that we do not have. We'll mention that here in a minute. But before we do that, let's go ahead and introduce you to Boone County Judge candidate Tyler Gentry.
I'm Tyler Gentry, and I'm running for Boone County Judge, and I'd be honored to have your support in the upcoming Republican primary. Election day is March 3rd. Early voting is February 17th. I decided to run for the position of county judge because I love our county. I want someone to get up every day and work for us, and I know the job. I have been blessed to work for Boone County for 6 years now as the assistant county judge to our current county judge, Robert Hathaway, and that has given me a full understanding of the administrative role that the county judge handles. I have My role is to alleviate the duties of the county judge, and that has given me that experience to lead from day one rather than waiting on someone to learn how to do that job. I believe customer service matters. I believe that not making false promises and follow through matters. I believe transparency matters. And of course, getting up every day and taking this job seriously. It's not part-time, it's a full-time job. And I'm ready to take on that role and do that job starting from day one. I would appreciate your support throughout this effort. And again, March 3rd is Election Day, and I hope you get out and that I can earn your trust and ultimately your vote. Thank you.
And again, there is Tyler Gentry. And now we're going to step back just to get back in the order of, well, we'll go ahead and start here with our State Representative District 5 candidate, Mr. Jeff Pratt.
My name's Jeff Pratt. I am running for District 5 State Representative, the seat that Ron McNair is vacating. And the reason I feel like I would be great for that spot is I have been in Little Rock for the last several years working with the legislator on the lobby side of everything. Down there, helping protect private property rights and things like that. Working with the Arkansas Realtors Association. Well, I decided that I would rather have a vote than just a voice. I felt like I could be more effective if I actually had a little vote sitting around that table. Sometimes when you go down there and you're testifying before a committee, you wonder if they're really paying attention. And so I decided it would be a lot better if I could go down there and have a little bit of say-so. So kind of like some of my videos I've been putting out with people, it's not what I'm looking to do. I don't have a real agenda, but I want to work with the people here in District 5. My family, I'm a third generation and just raised a fourth generation of Boone County people. And so we know the area, know the people, know the needs, and want to take your concerns, your ideas, your issues to Little Rock and see what we can do to help strengthen District 5.
And we thank you very much there. Okay, I am trying to make sure. Again, this is an ergonomic thing on my end, and I don't want to cut anyone short. So I think what we're going to do right now, the playlist over here seems to have lined itself out so it's not doubling down. But before we get to that, I want to step back to another candidate for State Representative District 5, and that would be Mike Bishop. And now again, what we're going to do after that is we're going to just kind of let the playlist roll, and that way you can see who's who. And as we grow through this, growing a broadcast.
Hey everybody, I'm Mike Bishop. I am running for House of Representatives District 5, which is pretty much all of Boone County, 95% of it. And I'm asking for your vote because we need Christian, conservative, common sense leadership representing the people of Boone County down at our state capitol. Hey everybody, I'm Mike Bishop.
Hi, I'm Jody Marshall, running for Justice of the Peace, Boone County, District 9. I want to be a new set of eyes and ears for the local residents of Alpena, Batavia, Caps, and Bear Creek Springs. I would be honored to have your vote in this year's election primary.
How's it going, Arkansas? My name is Jeb Little, and I'm running for U.S. Senate. Y'all, I am tired of funding foreign wars and foreign countries. We are $38 trillion in debt. In 2013, we were $16 trillion in debt. This is not sustainable. I fear for my kids and my future grandkids' future. I promise you I will not vote for any bill that adds more debt onto their shoulders. I'd appreciate y'all's consideration.
Hello, I'm Kyle Evatt. I'm running for state representative for District 5. I'm currently Justice of the Peace for the county, representing District 5 also, which is primarily the Bellefonte area, but it's one of the more uniquely drawn districts in the county. You know, kind of does most of the Bellefonte, but actually comes up and ends on the north side of Harrison. Why you should vote for me is we need a new voice down in Little Rock who's going to have the passion and the energy to fight for us. For too long, Little Rock, the only time they're involved in our lives is whenever they want to take something or impose something drastic upon us. We're looking at the C&H hog farm closure, turning the Buffalo River into a national reserve, or putting this prison down in Franklin County. When is Little Rock going to look to us to actually hear our opinions on what we think is going to be good for us, rather than them just dictating it from 2.5 hours away? And so I really appreciate you getting out on March 3rd for the Republican primary and voting Kyle Evett for State Representative District 5.
Yeah, my name's Truman Copeland. I'm running for State Representative for District 5, and I believe people should vote for me because, well, I served in the Marine Corps for 5 years. I got injured in the Marine Corps. I feel purpose and passion to help other people and make sure that that's something that that everybody gets heard. And I feel like that's not been something that's happened at the Capitol very much for us. A big part of my campaign is I believe in education, public education. I think that that's one of the most important things that we can do as a society. Is we've failed it from 1950 to 2015. We've seen that we've doubled the amount of students, tripled the amount of teachers, octupled the amount of administration. We continue to dump money into public education, but we don't do it in a way that's beneficial to our students. And so I think that there's a way that we can earmark certain funds to make sure that our students are getting taught. One of the things, because I'm going to college for a secondary education social studies teacher, and one of the things that you do as a teacher is you take these students or take these kids and you make them into productive members of society. I don't know the last 5 graduating classes that right whenever they're out of high school are productive members of society. They get told you need to go to college. And I think that they need to be prepared to go into the workforce, and they need to know when they get to that workforce that they know some basic things like turning wrenches. They need to know some basic things like using a hammer and knowing basic tools and being able to understand and be able to start thinking again instead of just remembering and remembering and remembering. I can tell you what the mitochondria is, but I could tell you I've never needed it in my entire life. So I think that's one of the most important things that we should do as a society, is make sure that we can start doing the right thing for our children.
I'm Tim Robertson. I'm running for sheriff of Boone County, and I would like to ask you for your support in that election. What I have done for the past 38 years has been a part of law enforcement here in Boone County, 26 of those years in an administrative role. You know, I oversee a jail that has 149 beds. We have an administrative team that distributes a budget of about $5.8 million. We have to keep that balanced. I oversee the leaders of our units. You know, we have a CID unit, we have a patrol unit, and it's my job to oversee that. And I've done that for, like I say, in the administrative side for the past 26 years and 38 plus years overall in law enforcement. I feel like that gives me the ability to continue to lead in this department, and would be honored if the folks would elect me as sheriff to do that.
Hi, my name is Mark Forsey. I am your candidate for Boone County Sheriff. I wanted to take just a minute of your time because I understand that when people make an investment in something, they want to know what they are getting in return. When you cast your vote for me, I want you to know why I am running for sheriff and what your return investment is. As your sheriff, there will be accountability and smart budgeting to the office, ensuring your tax dollars are used efficiently and responsibly, and where they matter the most. As your sheriff, you get someone that understands that training is the backbone of a strong sheriff's office. Training will keep our staff sharp, professional, and ready for any situation. Investing in training isn't a cost, it's a commitment to excellence, safety, and public trust. As your sheriff, you get someone that understands communication, and updates are critical to the public. Law enforcement works best when it works with the community and not above it. With your vote, in every moment, calm or crisis, you will have a sheriff for the people. Hi, my name is Mark Forsey. I am your candidate for Boone County Sheriff.
Participated so far in getting their video put together for the virtual stump so they can tell you who they are, what they're running for, and why you should vote for them. And again, this is totally a community outreach to instill and hopefully encourage civic pride and duty for all of us who can vote, because you should. So again, this is just kind of an interesting walk around what all we're doing here at Amp Multimedia with this project. And again, I invite you to join me for coffee in the morning at 8 a.m. right here on the Facebook land. If you're following me, again, I'm Jim Baumgartner, and I'm pretty easy to find for the most part, I think. Anyway, but again, this is just kind of a brief little tour of the virtual stump, how it is and how it's going to be as we continue to move forward to the March 3rd primary in 2026. Well, I hope this was a little informative. Thank you very much for joining me on my getting my fingers ready to do fun broadcasting stuff again. Again, in the hopes to inform and maybe entertain you a little bit along the way. But for now, let's shut this thing off. You guys get back to doing your pre-Christmas Friday stuffs, and we'll talk to you again very soon.